In a world searching for gaming knowledge comes the man, the myth, a legend in his own mind, Critical.
Welcome back, guys and gals. Critical here. Today I'm bringing you another episode of Subsistence on Season 5. Before I forget about it, let's jump up here real quick. Let's see if we can see any activity, rogue activity specifically. I might be a little bit too late in the day. Yeah, I'm a little bit too late in the day to see rogue activity. Just like for their campfires. I mean, it's not that you can't see a campfire here right now, but really difficult. Like, I know that's a hunter base and there's a campfire. Ooh, there's a hunter right there. I just saw this tiny little blue glow. So there's a hunter moving. Oh. Hunters are coming to attack, I think. I saw that blue glow go across. Yep, there's a blue glow right here. I think we're just about to have hunters attack. Well, who am I not to greet the incoming up? Like I called it. I knew I saw that blue glow. The blue glow of hunters. So this is the first time I've actually been here when they've attacked. Shot was too late. He was already going to move. I already knew that too. You're dead. Stick that head up. Stick that head up. This is using this base setup proper. Oh, he moved. Come on, take a shot. Take a shot. I know you want to. See, he only pauses long enough to... Oh. Okay, cool. That fell in the water and fell short. All dead. So that's the proper way of using that. Don't stand up, just kneel. And take the account of the flight of the arrow when you are releasing it. Premium voice return, awesome. Not the kind of stuff I was hoping for, but adequate enough for my uses. I really do need to pop those other two bases so I can get rid of these staircases. There are times when having that staircase right there is useful, but it looks bad. It doesn't feel good. I'm crafting a buttload of cordage. I found that my cordage storage area was just like completely packed full. And I also crafted one more glass ceiling piece or floor piece, depends how you look at it. But I think instead of expanding the floor here, I'm just going to turn that top portion up there into glass, and then the part that's just over, like in the corner, will stay wood. That's the extra piece right now. I'm just going to leave it there until either I find a use for it or I'll just dismantle it for half the resources back. Let's grab that. Yes, I know this is going to be considered cannibalism, but I'm not the one that's doing it, so I guess I'm okay with it. You'll see what in a second. I wanted to see if this still works in the most recent alpha, or did it get fixed? Because a little birdie told me when I originally found out that chickens were cannibals, that's not right. That shouldn't work. I'm going to fix that. For some reason, this one recipe still works. You can feed chicken and eggs to your chicken coop, which just seems so wrong to me on so many different levels. Oh, and if I really needed to, I could just pick up one of these, set it down, and just drop through, but I prefer the cowabunga method. It's so much more fun just jumping off my house into the water. And I went ahead and moved my dump chest right here, so it's a little more convenient. I'm fed. I've got water in me. everything is growing. We'll just leave it and let it do its thing. Oh, wait a minute. I got to check to make sure they have water. If they have no water, they won't grow at all. Okay. With that rain shower we had, yeah, we are good on water. Plus, without the fertilizer, they're growing really slow. As long as they have water, they'll still grow. Water and light. Cole Games got to stop changing things, though. He's going to make me have to go back and redo all my old videos or put disclaimers. I'll have to download the video because I don't have the original files anymore. And then... Yeah, I don't think I'll reach that one. And then I put a disclaimer, edit it again, but it's going to make it look so horrible. Oh, no! I knew it as soon as I fell. I knew what was going to happen there. Are you kidding me? Well, no, you're not kidding me, but still. I need a stick. Hold on. I am not running around the world without a splint. Not to mention the fact that I just lost half my health. So everybody who wishes me luck and tells me to go break a leg, thanks. I really appreciate your thoughts. Oh no, I hope I have a stick ready. Thank God. Because I'd have to either wait until all my crafting was done, or I would have to cancel it all, which would take at least a minute. Because trust me, I'm crafting like 200 cordage. Or, yeah, there's just no or and. It's just, I was screwed. That's one of the reasons why I made the suggestion to Cole Games a long time ago. I don't know if he's going to get to it. Hopefully he does. To allow you to start crafting, or basically transfer crafting from your inventory to your workbench. So... And maybe it needs to be an upgraded workbench. Maybe you can't do it on the workbench, but you have to do it on the lathe or something. So instead of having everything in your inventory and starting all the crafting, you could do it one of two ways. Either it has to be in your inventory and you go to the workbench or the upgraded workbench or the lathe, however you decide to do it. And then you start to craft in the menu of that instrument, of that piece of equipment. So the lathe would be a good one, in my opinion, right now with the way the game is, to give people more reasons to make a lathe. If you have no business, or if you have no interest of making a BCU cracker, or you don't want an elevator, there's no reason to make the lathe. Here's another reason to make the lathe. Make it so that it's the upgraded workbench, and if I have all the fiber in my inventory, I can go up to the lathe and say craft, and if it's, you know, over and over again pushing the same button to start an individual crafting of that item, and then it uses the resources from your inventory, but the crafting happens in the lathe. So I could set up my lathe to craft 250 cordage and go out about on my day, and for a nominal amount of power, say every item that crafts in the lathe would cost 1 power, because you're using the lathe, you're using energy. You don't need mass because, you know, you already have the mass. The mass in this case is the resources you're giving the recipe. I think it's a pretty good idea. Another caveat to that would be, if you're using the lathe to do the crafting, maybe it takes less resources because you're not wasting as many resources because you're not doing it in your inventory. You could still craft it in your inventory, but it might take, you know, a small percentage more resources to craft it in the inventory versus the lathe. Another reason people will want to make the lathe then. It makes the upgraded workbench, basically what the lathe is, in my opinion, more reasonable, more something that you really want to do to progress your game. Yeah, you got the workbench, you can do what, the workbench can do, and that's great. But if you get the lathe, now you really open up your world. You're saving resources, you're better using the resources that you have. And it just takes power. Come on, Cool Games. There's a good idea for you right there. Ooh, and I can reach that. That's awesome. And you don't even have to mention me. You can have that one for free, Cool Games, I promise. And for all I know, he's already thought of that. He just hasn't either told us about it, or it's something that's on the to-do list and not the it needs to get done with. Now, I would say that's on the needs to get done list, just like retrieving arrows. But that's IMO, in my opinion. And in this case, my opinion don't count for much, if anything at all. Okay, it's been kind of quiet out here. Interesting that it's... Oh. As soon as I say quiet, I'm about to say it a second time, but Bear's like, really? You want to sit here and crack jokes, huh? Or go around this way. I figured I'd run to this side of the world. I want to check on the planters over here to see how they're doing. These planters are now useless if I don't, if it doesn't rain or I don't provide water to them. So I have to come over here and put water in them. Okay, so it's a moment to decide what I need to do in this world. I used to leave old bases as a place like a way station to have a little bit of power built up. I could run over let the solar panels, the passive energy generation happen, and craft stuff that doesn't need mass, or leave a mass recycler over there, run over and get the mass that I need and get something crafted. That model doesn't do anything for us anymore. They're like, well, why did it change all of a sudden? Because the only other reason to have extra base over here with planters in it was back in the day when, oh, geez, so much for being quiet, right? When I didn't need water. I didn't have to water the planters to have them produce. The rainwater we would, get when it rained was more of a, keep moving, speeding up the process, not needed for completion of the process. Now, and I'm going to look in this, you're going to go, but it's full of water. Yeah, it's full of water because it's been raining recently. But I don't think that it's going to rain enough to get these other ones to grow in any semblance of a reasonable amount of time. A few more potatoes. Always have enough potatoes. This was my potato farm. Tomatoes. All right, I'm not going to destroy anything that already has seeds in it. That's stupid. It'll rain enough so eventually these will all grow out. But I am going to remove the planters that I harvest from on this side over here. Once I harvest everything out of the planter, it's getting removed. There's no reason to have planters over here anymore. In my opinion, I'm not telling people how to play their own game. You can have planters aplenty wherever you want. I'm not gonna question it. I don't feel I have a need for these items to be over here anymore. I still want a protected area to come into, you know, but I don't have need of everything that's over here. And in fact, this only needs to be as big as that right there. Anything bigger than that is really just a waste. Oh, it will let me slide on. Go and get these resources back. The planters, I'm never going to upgrade them again. I'm never going to do anything with them again. So the BCU can be dismantled. Let's reclaim some of this wood, nails, cordage. Oh my god, I'm crafting. Oh, I've got all this crafting still happening. And I'm about to lose. How much cordage? Okay, I'm going to be good on cordage. Guess it wasn't that much in the end. And I'll have one more spot for that glass ceiling to craft. I think that is appropriate. I could fill up one more space. Let's go ahead and craft these. Throw out that one piece of fiber I don't need. Fruits and vegetables are a little low, so let's eat that. Okay, gives me a little bit of extra room. So I want rains to happen as much as possible right now. The more it rains, the faster these items will grow when I can remove them. I had a feeling that those potatoes were going to bud when I was here. That's not bad. I'm coming back with 32 planks, 48 nails, some more cordage on top of it. Yeah, that's adequate. 4 or 5 more days, I can come back over and remove the remainder of those planters. Because I'm not coming over here every couple days to put water in those planters. It's just not going to happen. And since it doesn't rain enough to justify all that plant, I can use those materials elsewhere. Worst case, I just create a ton more planters over here. But that's not as efficient as it used to be either, because I have to put water in each one, and that takes time. So when people are on the forum and they're saying, why don't we have an irrigation system? Why don't we have like a rain catcher that can hold water and dribble it into our plants? I would agree. That would be a nice late game item that you... okay. One more. That you have to have a particular workbench available to be able to make. But it would be one of those items that takes power. It would have to be a powered, using electrical power resource to there are gravity-fed trickle type waterings you can do for a planter, and I guess you could do it that way and it would take no power, but you would need power, mass, and resources to actually build it. I don't know. I don't know what Cole Games' ultimate idea is for that. Hell, as far as I know, I don't even know if I'm even playing the game the way Cole Games envisions it. You know? It's supposed to be a quote-unquote boots-on-the-ground shooter, and I play it more as a survival builder where I have to deal with AI all the time. So for all we know, we've got what we got. We're not gonna, we're not gonna see more beyond what we already have. But I don't know if the game's evolving or not. I would say it has. There were certain things that the community really, really, really wanted, and Cole Games at first was not open to it and changed his mind and added it in. As far as I know, the bow would be one of those items. I know there's a lot of chatter. People want like a basic spear as a melee item type weapon. Still have room. All my crafting's done. So if I have any problems, it's just with stuff that I can't pick up that I'm looting. I don't know. Since we don't have a roadmap, we don't know what Cole Games' long-term plan / idea is for Subsistence. And I know a lot of people see that as a negative. And I understand where those people are coming from. But if the developer tells you up front, hey, I'm not doing a roadmap because he doesn't want expectations to be one thing. There's another game that I play, and they had a roadmap, and it gave a timetable as well. Here's what we see what coming in the game, and here is the timetable. Well, they didn't match their timetable. They didn't. They weren't able to get certain things done, and other things just didn't work the way they thought they were. Or it was going to take a lot more time to implement, just because, it's how video games are. Just because you say you want X in your video game doesn't mean that there is an easy way to program X to actually work in your game or in your base coding that you already have established. Another reason why people are like, well, there's Unreal Engine 5 is out now. Why aren't you upgrading to that or to Unreal 4? Well, basically because Cole Games would have to start from scratch and recreate the entire game. And that's just not going to happen. That was Cole Games' response when I asked the question. Because I was, same thing. I was like, hey, wait a second. We got these newer softwares. Would you ever consider upgrading to those? And he said he can't, because that would require a complete remaking of the game, not even a rebuilding. It wasn't even as simple as saying, I'd have to do reprogramming. It was just like, it was a complete start from scratch redo of the game, and we don't want that. I don't want that. I'll put it that way. All right. Well, no hunters attacked while I was gone. That's a good thing. Checking my water levels, which are high because they haven't been using fertilizer. A lot of fertilizer. Let's grab Bert. Almost grown. Let's fertilize you since you have a cotton plant in you. Room, yeah, I got enough room. Just making sure. Even though I didn't like when Cole Games added the delay for picking plants, now I'm kind of used to it. Insta-pick plants was nice, but it really isn't realistic. I see that. And I guess it could break the immersion for some people. Doesn't for me, but I guess it could. Well, you want to talk immersion breaking. When I go to pick the plant and, you know, I don't expect to see a spinning wheel that indicates that I'm doing something either, or how many times I've been doing it. That's kind of immersion breaking, but, you know, basic part of the game that you're not going to be able to change. You need a progress window, progress circle. Oh, AC unit. I took it from up there, and it actually fits right back here, and it's not going to create any type of issue because I point here to do recycling, along here to do workbench, here for processing of stuff, and then there's the AC unit. So if I make a radiator, I'll stick that right there as well. I know some will go, oh, what is he going to do with the AC unit? He never addressed that at the end. No, I did not. Deal with it. You're just going to have to deal. Hello, hunters. It's the evening time. You usually like to pop over late evening to give me a hello. Should we check the map again and see if we see... Well, actually, this time of day, we're not going to see that blue glow. We just happened to be at that witching hour where it was still the hunters in the game's okay. Oh my god, a cotton plant. Yes. I wanted the seed, but hey, I'm glad to see a cotton plant. Level 9, you'll be level 10 by morning. I guess that steak and eggs gave him a huge boost, and it's like, I am a strong chicken. I'm gonna level up faster now. No, that's not true. And that's me being a smart butt. Chickens do not level better if you feed them better food. Though, that could be a thing too. Not a necessary thing, but could be a thing. Always be grabbing them fibers. I'm chasing the sun, trying to stay ahead of the sunset. I don't think the player runs fast enough in the world to be able to do that, but ooh. Plus we get squirreled by all sorts of things. An iron ore, iron node, that's a good squirrel. That's a worthwhile squirrel, especially if there's more than one. I want to see something. Oh, that's the purple glow. That's what I expect to see. Oh, there is a row camp right over here. We'll see if they're there tomorrow. My guess is not. Start heading home. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could see any movement. Because right now, at this hour, I wouldn't be surprised if hunters running around outside would have their glow sticks out. Still think all it does is just gives them away, but that's their business, not mine. Nope, you're not touching me. Looking out to the side where the hunters usually come from. I don't see any movement. The chicken's just about to turn level 10, but I'll grab that in the morning. Jump, spin, turn. Almost landed on the wood, which I probably would end up breaking my leg again. Alright, guys and gals. I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. I've been Critical. This has been Subsistence on Season 5. I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. If you have, drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Bye.